We did have some comedians who we sent the stand-up act to, including the great David Spade, who's kind enough to join us. David, good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Hello, Dan. Hello, guys. What a night. My Memorial Day weekend, I got to watch that clip. Fritzy, it would be easy to crap all over this, but I'm going to try to go through it a little bit with you. First of all, I liked the wardrobe. You didn't go Seinfeld suit. You kept it very casual, sort of the untuck it look from Bachelor in Paradise, which I think a lot of people like. I mean, I think that's very common.
Okay.
You still there?
Yeah. Okay. No, I'm listening.
No points off there. Okay. Section row seat. It was an interesting bit because I sort of thought it was a setup that might need to be brought home. It fizzled out a little bit. I will say you sort of delivered it with confidence. God knows why, but you pushed through it, and you might want to, maybe start just some throwaway topical thing like, "Hey, did you see me climb those apartments and save that baby?" Maybe something like that, and then people go, "Oh, you're not athletic. You wouldn't have done that." Your next bit was your mom gives you the thermometer up your behind, which, again, that's not a bad area. I don't hate that joke. I think you said she did it till high school, which is funny. I would even say something more recently, like Memorial Day or something where it's really recent, or you say till high school. And then a side note, I graduated high school 2 weeks ago. Okay. Anything to sort of, but I didn't hate that one. You were talking a little fast, but that was understandable given the silence. And I think that you had good stage presence. You sort of plowed through it. Sometimes I'm on Ellen, and if something doesn't work, I speed it up a little bit, which is a mistake, but it happens. It's just a nervous thing. I thought overall you sort of looked like you knew what you were doing up there, which is a positive. Maybe the material could be stronger, but at least you sort of buzzed through it, and I only got to 331, so that was probably 2 bits, maybe 3 bits.
Okay, then you missed the last 4 minutes of it.
Well, I wish I saw the closer. I wasn't as invested as I thought it would be. It was an easy pause.
Hey, I'm right there with you, and I was at Caroline's that night. I tried to pause, and I couldn't.
Yeah, you guys have to because it's work, but this was sort of a freebie, so I felt like it was okay, and then the Bachelor was on and stuff, but I thought overall I'm not giving up. I mean, you're not going to Hollywood, but at this moment,
but David, this is at Caroline's. Is it too big of a stage was it too soon to go to Caroline's? This is the second time he's ever done this.
Oh, okay. I didn't know how long he's done it. The second time, Caroline's is tough. I mean, it's intimidating. It would be better to do some dumpy little open mic nights at pizzerias and sort of get used to the tidal wave of silence, because it can throw you like a horse that gets spooked. If you get silence, you don't really know what to do, and then your mind thinks of that and not your next joke. So I would say that was sort of big because you're known. Maybe they let you go on up there, but that's I'm sure you had some disgruntled comedians in the back that you bumped.
Okay, but this is if we got good content. Like if I had a group of guys, like if I got you and Sandler and Jeff Ross and maybe Chris Rock. I mean, I'm not going to pay you, but
that would.
But could we cobble together like 7 minutes of some stuff for Fritzy?
I think so. I think he can deliver it, and I think he does look like he knows what he's doing. So I'm not going to say it was all a big bomb, but the crowd almost was unfairly cricket. I mean, I did Ellen last week. I made a joke about Meghan Markle, and they were not having it. And it was Ellen looked at me like, "Is everything like what just happened?" I go, "Jesus, the floor just came out." And at the commercial, I go, Ellen, I've never hit a wall like that on a talk show. She goes, I've never seen someone hit a wall that hard on a talk show.
Maybe it was too soon to criticize Meghan Markle, David.
Oh, yeah, it was the day after the wedding.
Yeah.
But it was like, I go, she's not Lady Di just yet. I mean, give her a few seconds. I mean, we can still make fun of her for like 5 minutes. But they weren't having it, and I had to get through the rest of the bit because I had to get to the next one. So it was like, that was really trudging through the mud.
Here's another thing, though. Fritzy didn't say hello to the audience when he got up on stage. That's
like a nervous thing, yeah. I think he just got up and went, hi, dogs are funny. And then everyone goes, oh, I guess we're starting.
And he didn't move the mic stand either. He was told that, you got to say hello to the audience and you have to move the mic stand out of the way because there's a little bit of a barrier there between you and the audience.
Right. I mean, we could still see him, obviously. But I would say if he gets on, then, a little bit of a settle in so they can take you in, just to get a quick feel for you. So hello and move the mic and even that BS, how you doing, anything like that actually just sort of relaxes them like, here we go. But you came at it probably because you had a short amount of time, and that's some guys do that. They don't want to waste any time. But it backfires a little bit because I don't know why the audience feels a little offended. It's a bit abrupt. All
right, here's another clip for you to break down here. Seton, going ahead.
You know what? I couldn't hear the last one, so tell someone on the squad there to tap me into
no, that was the first one where he had the observational humor, where he the opening one.
Right, but it blanked out on my phone.
Oh, it's okay.
So let me hear this one.
No, you're better. Yeah, you're better not hearing it. Here you go. Do we have one, Seton?
My mother is just a neurotic, crazy, but she's a lovely, wonderful, beautiful person. She'd give you the shirt right off her back. Hopefully she won't do that anytime soon. She's not exactly the most fit person in the world, so you really don't need to see her with her shirt off. But basically, growing up, we had to cough into our pillow because if she heard any of us, my brother, my sister, coughing, she'd send us right to a lab for one of those throat cultures to see if you have strep throat. So she was a little crazy with that. And I didn't find out till recently from a friend of mine that if your mom is still taking your temperature rectally when you're in high school, it's a little past the time where that's acceptable.
Oh, okay. So that's the rectal thermometer there with his mom. And he said that his mom would give you, very generous, she'd give you the shirt off her back, but nobody wants to see that.
Yeah. I couldn't hear it again, but I remember that joke, thank God. And
okay.
It was, I get it. He's not at the Madison Square Garden, so no one expects miracles. But these are at least in the vicinity of jokes, and I think with some tweaking, and you get a few people in there, you should try to load him up with a few comedians. Not me, of course, but get Chris Rock and get those guys in the room for a week, and get all the biggies. And then I think with the right stuff, he could. I was a little shocked, even at section row seat, just a few polite, chuckles, and they really turned on him, and that must have been tough for you to keep going because I've had that. And you're like, am I saying this right? Because there's something there, isn't there, people? But they were like tapping out early on you.
David, thank you for spending a good portion of your Memorial Day weekend to critique Fritzy's stand-up.
That was very awesome. I appreciate the feedback there.
Fritzy, I think overall it was fine, and you've got some potential, and come back next year, and we're going to do this again, and I think it will come along a little bit. And I just stared at the ceiling last night thinking of what I would say all night. So I'm glad we got through this. And thanks, guys. It's always good to talk to you. I'll talk
Thank
to
you, David.
Soon.
That's David Spade.
Very kind.
David Spade critiquing. He's helping him out a little bit, giving him some advice.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV or download the Dan Patrick Show app.